All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles of the Great Millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Bayath of Dawadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad. I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. Salakia. Sunday afternoon camp, Lord willing to be edifying, so we're going to go ahead and get right into it. Okay. We're going to start with the book of the book of 2nd Maccabees, the 15th chapter. Okay. So what this is all about, is that the mindset, a little bit, with a little bit of the right attitude, you have to have the right attitude for this, It's all about the mindset, and that's what makes the difference, okay? We got to be, we got to be in it to win it, but we got to do it right by the word here. Okay, this is going to be the book of, I skipped it, shoot. So it's the book of 2nd Maccabees, chapter 15. Second Maccabees, chapter 15, verse 7. And it says, "But Maccabeus had ever sure confidence that the Lord would help him." Verse 8, "Wherefore he exhorted his people not to fear the coming of the heathen against them, but to remember the help which in former times they had received from heaven, and now to expect the victory and aid which should come unto them from the Almighty." Okay, so Maccabeus had that mindset. He had that attitude of that, no matter what situation, having faith and putting your trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, as the scriptures say, if the Lord be for us, who can be against us, right? In fact, let me see. Salakia. Let me get the book of Joshua. Joshua chapter 1, verse 9. And it says, "Have I not commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed, for the Lord thy power is with thee whithersoever thou goest." Okay? Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai is our power. He's our greatest weapon, okay? So, Salakia. So why fear the heathen? Okay? Because the Lord is not with the heathen. He's with us, okay? The heathen, they have their own, they have their own beliefs, their own idols, their own weapons, their own carnality. But we have spirituality, okay? Which is faith and belief and putting our trust in the Lord at all times, okay? That's our ultimate weapon. And that's going to be our ultimate weapon in the times to come during Jacob's trouble, when all hell breaks loose. Our faith is gonna be tested to see if it's, if it's genuine, or if it's really just, if it's really, if it's genuine or if it's fake. Now, going back to 2nd Maccabees, it's gonna be chapter 7. 2nd Maccabees chapter, excuse me. Chapter 7, starting at verse 24. And it says, "Now Antiochus, thinking himself despised, and suspecting it to be a reproachful speech, whilst the youngest was yet alive, did not only exhort him by words, but also assured him with oaths that he would make him both a rich and a happy man if he would turn from the laws of his fathers, and that also he would take him for his friend and trust him with affairs. 25. But when the young man would in no case hearken unto him, the king called his mother and exhorted her that she would counsel the young man to save his life. Verse 26. And when he had exhorted her with many words, she promised him that she would counsel her son. 27. But she bound herself towards him, laughing the cruel tyrant to scorn, spake in her country language on this manner: O my son, have pity upon me, that bare thee 9 months in my womb, and gave thee suck 3 years, and nourished thee, and brought thee up until this age, and endured the troubles of education. Okay, so the mother excuse me, was mocking the king, laughing at him, making fun of him, thinking that, that the loyal servants of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua were gonna, bend the knee to him, do as he says. She was mocking him. Okay? The true servants, as the scriptures say, that the devil shall cast some of us into prison, right? Okay? And they're going to come at us in subtle ways to where, if you do this, you bend the knee to the system, we'll let you go. You become a part of the system. You'll become a part of something great, the greatest thing in your life, but we know that's not true. So, no matter what these devils do to us, you have to have that mindset of, as the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, be thou faithful unto death, and he will give thee a crown of life. You have to have that mindset of, completely, separating yourself from this society, from this world, man, because it's all temporal. It's bullshit. It's nothing but a distraction. There's no way for us to prosper here. This place is not our rest. Okay, going back to verse 28. I beseech thee, my son, look upon the heaven and the earth and all that is therein, and consider that the Most High made them of things that were not, and so is mankind made likewise. 29. Fear not this tormentor, but being worthy of thy brethren, take thy death, that I may receive thee again in mercy with thy brethren. So instead of following after, Antioch, she told him it is, better to die righteous than to live wickedly. And that's part of the mindset that we have to be in. Okay? It's better to die following the ways of the Lord than to live following the ways of man here, because the ways of man are not the ways of the Lord here. Okay? The ways of man lead to destruction and death. But the ways of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua lead to life. Okay? Verse 30. While she was yet speaking these words, the young man said, Whom wait ye for? I will not obey the king's commandment, but I will obey the commandment of the law that was given unto our fathers by Moses. 31. And thou that hast been the author of all mischief against the Hebrews shall not escape the hands of the Most High. For we suffer because of our sins, and yet we suffer because we went off. Excuse me. Yeah, we suffer because of our stiff-necked ways, our rebelliousness. We were not obedient unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, and that's why we're in the predicament that we're in right now. Verse 33, and though the living Lord be angry with us a little while for our chastening and correction, yet shall he be at one again with his servants. So this captivity that we're in, even though it's only temporary, but it's for our chastening and our correction. It's to make us better, for us to learn our lesson. Verse 34, but thou, O godless man, and of all other most wicked, be not lifted up without a cause, nor puffed up with uncertain hopes, lifting up thy hand against the servants of the Most High. 35. For thou hast not yet escaped the judgment of the Almighty, who seeth all things. Verse 36. For our brethren who now have suffered a short pain are dead under the Most High's covenant of everlasting life. But thou, through the judgment of the Most High, shall receive the just punishment for thy pride. Verse 37. But I, as my brethren, offer up my body and life for the laws of our fathers, beseeching the Most High, that he would speedily be merciful unto our nation, and that thou by torments and plagues mayest confess that he alone is the power. Verse 30. And that in me and my brethren the wrath of the Almighty, which is justly brought upon all our nation, may cease. 39. Then the king being in a rage handled him worse than all the rest, and took it grievously that he was mocked. Verse 40. So this man died undefiled, and put his whole trust in the Lord. 41. Last of all, after the sons, the mother died. Okay. So, the mother's 7 sons, they all died following after the Lord, and then lastly was her. So, once again, the devil may cast some of us into that prison that we maybe tried 10 days, and the number 10 is just a number of completion, just like the number 7. Okay, it doesn't mean it's going to be exactly 10 days, but it could be any number of days. We may be tortured. Who knows what will happen, but you just got to remember to have that attitude about you, the right type of attitude, the mindset that, keep your eyes on the prize, which is the crown. Okay? Because that's what we're striving for. Okay, now I'm going to get... This is going to be 2 Corinthians. Second Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3, when it says, For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. Verse 4, For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through the Most High to the pulling down of strongholds. Verse 5, Casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalteth itself against the knowledge of the power, and bringeth into captivity every thought to the obedience of Hamashiach. In verse 6, and having in a readiness to revenge all disobedience when your obedience is fulfilled. Okay, so we walk in the flesh, but we do not war after the flesh. So, okay, we walk in the spirit, even though we're in this flesh, but we mind the things of the spirit. Okay, and the weapons of our warfare are spiritual, not carnal. Okay. And that spiritual weapon is this book, okay? This Bible is our sword. This is our weapon. This is how we expose this place for what it really is. And it's also a discerner of spirits, okay? See, the ultimate weapon is not the sword, it's wisdom, okay? Wisdom is your best weapon to live throughout your life, okay? As the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing, wisdom is greater than strength. I don't care how strong you are, if you don't have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding coming from this book, that strength ain't gonna do you no good. Excuse me. I'm gonna get the book of Proverbs. This is going to be Proverbs chapter Proverbs chapter 4. Proverbs chapter 4, verse 20. And it says, My son, attend to my words, incline thine ear unto my sayings. 21. Let them not depart from thine eyes. Keep them in the midst of thine heart. Verse 22. For they are life unto those that find them, and health to all their flesh. 23. Keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Okay? So by this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, this is, by keeping our mind stayed upon these things, as it says back in the book of Joshua, the first chapter, verse 8, roughly paraphrasing, meditate thereupon day and night. Okay? Meditate upon these scriptures day and night, for they are life. Okay? They help you solve all your problems. Okay? And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost, not to make any excuses, but I'm not perfect, but Lord willing I will be if I'm of the elect. That I'm accounted worthy to escape all the said perils. We all fall short at some time, but we just gotta pick ourselves back up and learn. Okay, verse 24. Put away from thee a froward mouth, and perverse lips put far from thee. Verse 5. Let thine eyes look right on, and let thine eyelids look straight before thee. Verse 26. Ponder thy paths of thy feet, and let all thy ways be established. Okay. So ponder the path of your feet, and all thy ways shall be established. So, excuse me. So, in life they say think before you act, and that's how you have to be at times. You have to think before. A man once told me that life is like a game of chess. You gotta learn. You make certain moves. Certain moves. Doing certain things. Have consequences. Okay. You're gonna make certain gains. You're gonna make certain sacrifices. You're gonna suffer certain losses. That's just how it is. Okay. Now, it's gonna be Romans chapter 12, verse 1. Romans 12 and 1, and it says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of the Most High, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Okay? Verse 2, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good, that acceptable, and perfect will of the Most High. Okay? So, loyalty, honor, and a willing heart. What more could you ask for of a servant? Loyalty, honor, and a willing heart. Okay? And our loyalties lie with the Most High, and we honor Him by keeping His laws, statutes, and commandments, and we have that willing heart to apply them and apply them to our daily lives, and and teach and exhort others, the sincere listeners, those that are willing to turn away from this society and do better. We're not here for fan service or popularity. We're here to enlighten. Though there are times that may come off being offensive, but the truth is meant to tell you like it is, whether you will hear or forbear. Okay, this is going to be 1 Samuel chapter 2. 1 Samuel chapter 2, verse 30. Let me get there. First Samuel chapter 2, verse 30, and it says, Wherefore the Lord Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai of Israel, saith, I said indeed that thy house and the house of thy father should walk before me forever. But now the Lord saith, Be it far from me, for them that honor me I will honor, and they that despise me shall be lightly esteemed. Okay? So if you honor the Lord, He will honor you, but if you despise Him, what do you think the end result's going to be? Okay, you despise Him, He's not going to have a care for you. okay? He's not going to have a care for you, okay? He's looking for those that are willing to, you know, repent, turn from their ways, and do better, and follow him, okay? Those are the ones that he has a genuine care for. But those that are not willing to accept correction, you know, those are the ones that he, you know, it's like, you know, I'm doing this for your own good, but you refuse to listen and you refuse to do better. So, you know what? You know, fuck you. Okay? And chastisement, you know, our time of chastisement and correction is just showing that how much he cares. Okay? What parent wouldn't, what good parent wouldn't chastise or correct their kid if their kid was doing something wrong? You know, if any of you are parents, you know, you would chastise, you would punish your kid if they did something wrong, so that way they won't do it again. Excuse me. Okay, now we're gonna go to so I'm gonna get, before I move on to the next one, I'm gonna get another precept here. Now, this is gonna be the book of Psalms. This is going to be the book of Psalms, chapter 1, verse 1. And it says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful." Verse 2, "But his delight is in the law of the Lord, but in his law doeth he meditate day and night." Verse 3, "And he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. His leaf also shall not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper." Verse 4, "The ungodly are not so, but are like the chaff which the wind driveth away." Verse 5, "Therefore the ungodly shall not stand in the judgment, nor sinners in the congregation of the righteous." Verse 6, "For the Lord knoweth the way of the righteous, but the way of the ungodly shall perish." Okay? So the righteous, they don't affiliate themselves with the counsel of the ungodly, or in the way of sinners, or sit with the mockers and the scorners. Okay, we do not want to have anything to do with those type of people, because they're not sincere, they're not genuine, and two, having them around could influence you in a way to where, you know, you could go off. Okay. We don't want to be around those type of people, because they don't have the right type of mindset. Okay, they don't have the attitude that you're supposed to have while being in this. All right. Now, this is going to be the book of this is going to be the book of 1 Timothy. Let me get there. Let me get it. 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 17. 1 Timothy 5 and 17, it says, "Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine." Verse 18, "For the scripture saith, Thou shalt not muzzle the ox that treadeth out the corn, and the labor is worthy of his reward." Okay. Okay, so, you know, our teachers, you know, the elders, Elder Apostle Tahar, Elder Apostle Kabar, Elder Apostle Ramla, Elder Apostle Rakal, and the men under them, you know, and the bishops, you know, especially the elder apostles, they're worthy of double honors because, you know, those are the heads of our nation as of right now. They're the ones that are, you know, feeding the flock and keeping the word, the 100% truth and doctrine. Okay? They're, excuse me, they're the ones setting the example for us to follow, as well as for those after us to follow. Okay? They lead by example, we follow their lead, and then, you know, we exhort those that come after us to follow in the same footsteps. But ultimately, we're all following after the Lord Yahweh Shai. Okay? We are all following his example on how to be in this society and how to move, how to deal with people. Okay, this is going to be the book of Jeremiah. This is going to be the book of Jeremiah, chapter 3, verse 15. Jeremiah chapter 3, verse 15, and it says, "And I will give you pastors according to mine heart, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding." Okay. Excuse me. So the men that are chosen to be above, to be above us, you know, like the elder apostles and the men under them, you know, those are our, you know, those are our teachers. Okay. So, you know, they keep the 100% doctrine all the way through. And how do we know? Look at all these other Israelite camps that don't follow the word and doctrine of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai that was given to GMS and those that follow GMS. Okay, look at how they conduct themselves. Look at what they do. Talking about you could do certain things on the Sabbath which you're not supposed to do, and how they say that the MOTB is the philosophy of sin or sleeping with so-called white women or whatever. Okay, that's completely off. And they do things, and you know, they're sellouts. Okay, and they try to change the word to fit their own personal agendas or needs or desires, and you're not supposed to do that. Okay, you're supposed to keep it 100%, keep it real, as they say. So by them not doing that, you know, they're the ones that are going to get it. They're going to get a harsh judgment unless they repent and stop following after, you know, these worldly ways. This is going to be the book of Matthew, chapter 24, starting at verse 45. And it says, okay, in fact, we'll start at verse 42. Matthew 24 and 42. "Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what time the thief had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up." Verse 44. "Therefore be ye also ready, for in such an hour as you think not, the Son of Man cometh." 45. "Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season?" Verse 46. "Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing." Verse 47. "Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods." 48. And if that evil servant shall say in his heart, My Lord delayeth his coming." 49. And shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken. 50. The Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and in an hour that he is not ware of. 51. And shall cut him asunder, and appoint him his portion with the hypocrites. There shall be weeping and gnashing of teeth. Excuse me. So truly, who then is a faithful and wise servant? Lord willing, that be us, that we, through patience and faith of the scriptures might have hope. That's the Romans 15:4, for whatsoever things were written aforetime were written for our learning. Okay? So if you lose patience and you bug out and you become a mocker and a scorner, and you're going to be allotted your portion with the hypocrites and the gnashing of teeth. Means you're going to be ultimately be judged and destroyed. And that's the best way to put it. Okay? This thing is about not just faith, but it's also about long suffering, which is patience. Okay? No matter how badly or what we're going through, or what we're dealing with in our own individual lots, we have to have patience, because that's what this thing requires. And having patience is part of that test. Ultimately, because when, we will rejoice when this place, completely collapses and all hell breaks loose, but that's going to be the ultimate test, because the Lord is going to put everybody, not just the heathen, not just the 2/3, but even the elect are going to go through some hell. Okay? Everybody's going to get it. But at the end of the day, the elect are going to, the Lord is going to see to it that his elect, his chosen, are going to make it through it. Okay? We are all going to go through it. We're all going to suffer some horrible things. Okay? That's part of the test to see, that's part of that trial by fire, to see if you are of that genuine gold. So, it says here back in verse 46, blessed is the servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Okay? Like I said, whoever is of that faithful and wise servant, keep doing this work, fast, pray, study, and ultimately in this society, just do the best you can to stay out of trouble, not be tempted by, bullshit. Don't lose yourself. Don't make things harder on yourself in this society, man. And I'm speaking to myself first and foremost. All right. Now we're going to get the book of Acts. Salakia. All right. The book of Acts, chapter 7. Salakia. Acts, chapter 7. Starting at verse 1, and it says, then said the high priest, are these things so? And verse 2, he said, men, brethren, and fathers, hearken. The power of glory appeared unto our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia, before he dwelt in Haran, which is ancient Syria. Verse 3, and said unto him, get thee out of thy country and from thy kindred, and come into the land which I shall shew thee. Verse 4. Then came he out of the land of the Chaldeans, and dwelt in Haran. And from thence, when his father was dead, he removed him into the land wherein he now dwelt. 5. And he gave him none inheritance in it, not so much as to set his foot on. Yet he promised that he would give it to him, for a possession, and to his seed after him, when as yet he had no child. Verse 6, and the Most High spake on this wise, that his seed should sojourn in a strange land, and that they should bring them into bondage and entreat them evil 400 years. And that place that would be held in bondage is Egypt. Back then, pursuant to the book of Exodus, chapter 12, verse 40, we were in the captivity of the bondage of Egypt for 430 years. Okay? And we're here in this modern day Egypt, this modern day spiritual Egypt, which is aka America, from the Renaissance period, which started back in the 1600s, all the way up till now. So it's been over it's been over 400 years. It's been over 400 years. Verse 7, and the nation to whom they shall be in bondage will I judge, saith the power. And after that they shall shall they come forth and serve me in this place. Verse 8, and he gave him the covenant of circumcision. And so Abraham begat Isaac and circumcised him that the 8th day. And Isaac begat Jacob. And Jacob begat the 12 patriarchs. And the patriarchs, moved with envy, sold Joseph into Egypt, but the power was with him, and delivered him out of all his afflictions, and gave him favor and wisdom in the sight of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and made him governor over Egypt and all his house. Verse 11, now there came a dearth over all the land of Egypt. And that dearth is talking about a famine. And Canaan, and great affliction, and our fathers found no sustenance. Verse 12, but when Jacob heard that there was corn in Egypt, he sent out our fathers first. Verse 13, and at the second time Joseph was made known to his brethren, and Joseph's kindred was made known unto Pharaoh. Verse 14, then sent Joseph and called his father Jacob to him, and all his kindred 75 souls, which is 75. Verse 15, so Jacob went down into Egypt, and died he and our fathers, and were carried over into Shechem, and laid in the sepulchre that Abraham brought for a sum of money of the sons of Emor, the father of Shechem. But when the time of the promise drew nigh, which the Most High had sworn to Abraham, the people grew and multiplied in Egypt, till another king arose, which knew not Joseph, and the same dealt subtly with our kindred, and evil entreated our fathers, so that they cast out their young to the end they might not live. In which time Moses was born, and was exceeding fair, and nourished up in his father's house 3 months. 21, and when he was cast out, Pharaoh's daughter took him up, and nourished him for her own son. And Moses was learned in all the wisdom of the Egyptians, and was mighty in words and in deeds. And once again, just like Moses, who was sent to be, to save Egypt, right? Not to save Egypt. Oh my goodness. To help our people, And Moses was a prophet. And the thing is that, what do you think that we're doing through the word here? To wake up our people and let them know exactly what's going on and what time of day it is. Okay? As the scriptures say, Ecclesiastes chapter 1, verse 9, roughly paraphrasing, nothing new under the sun. Okay? It's just this, it's a different time. It's the same setup, but a different time. That's all it is. Okay. Verse 23, and when he was full 40 years old, it came into his heart to visit his brethren, the children of Israel. 24, and seeing one of them suffer wrong, he defended him and avenged him that was oppressed, and smote the Egyptian. Verse 25, for he supposed his brethren would have understood how that the power by his hand would deliver them, but they understood not. 26. And the next day he showed himself unto them as they strove, and would have set them at one again, saying, Sirs, ye are brethren, why do ye wrong one to another? But he that did his neighbor wrong thrust him away, saying, Who made thee a ruler and a judge over us? Wilt thou kill me as thou didst the Egyptian yesterday? Then fled Moses at this saying, and was a stranger in the land of Midian, where he begat 2 sons. And when 40 years were expired, there appeared to him in the wilderness in Mount Sinai an angel of the Lord in a flame or fire in a bush. When Moses saw it, he wondered at the sight, and as he drew near to behold, the voice of the Lord came unto him, saying, I am the power of thy fathers, the power of Abraham, and the power of Isaac, and the power of Jacob. Then Moses trembled and durst not behold. Then said the Lord to him, Put off thy shoes from thy feet, for this place where thou standest is holy ground. 34. I have seen the affliction of my people which is in Egypt, and I have heard their groaning, and am come down to deliver them. And now come, I will send thee into Egypt. Verse 35. This Moses whom they refused, saying, Who made thee a ruler and a judge? The same did the Most High send to be a ruler and a deliverer by the hands of the angel which appeared to him in the bush. 36. He brought them out. After that, he had showed wonders and signs in the land of Egypt, and in the Red Sea, and in the wilderness 40 years. 37. This is that Moses which said unto the children of Israel, A prophet shall the Lord your power raise up unto you of your brethren, like unto me, him shall ye hear. 38. This is he that was in the church in the wilderness with the angel which spake to him in Mount Sinai, and with our fathers who received the lively oracles to give unto us. Okay. 39. To whom our fathers would not obey, but thrust him from them, and in their hearts turned back again into Egypt. Okay. So just like back then, they rejected Moses, who by the power of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, helped Israel escape out of Egypt. But in this current time, aren't we doing pretty much the same thing, trying to help our people, but yet they reject us because their minds, they're in love with this place. They're in love with the grave, and that's what America is. This place is nothing but a big, filthy grave. Our people, 2/3 of our people, they love death. They love death over life. Okay, they would, that's why when Jacob's trouble hits, man, they're gonna be longing for these days of being in comfort, being able to do whatever they want, party, being in mirth. But for us, this is hell. We don't want to be here. We want out of here. And Jacob's trouble, like I said earlier, Jacob's trouble is going to be the ultimate test. Okay? So the Lord's not going to save all of Israel this time. He's only going to save a small remnant. Okay? In fact, let me get that. So, let me get Zechariah. Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it says it all. Zechariah 13 and 8. And it shall come to pass that in the land, saith the Lord, two parts therein shall be cut off and die, but the third shall be left therein. In verse 9, and I will bring the third part to the fire, and will refine them as silver is refined, and will try them as gold is tried. They shall call on my name, and I will hear them. I will say, it is my people, and they shall say, the Lord is my power. Excuse me, I apologize. Allergies are running amok. So You know, so 2/3 of the nation of Israel, you know, you just gotta hope and pray that we're not, allotted amongst the 2/3. You know, that we don't die here in this place. Okay, that we receive, salvation on the first go around. Okay. You know, Lord willing, Lord willing, that we were predestinated from before the foundation of the world, man. That we are of the elect. Lord willing, that we are, because we're tired of being here. We're tired of this place, and we want righteousness. We want true justice. Okay. So that was it for that. Let me get this one last scripture here. Let me get a couple. Let me get two scripts, and then we'll close out here. All right. All right. Let me get this. Let me get three. This is Hebrews chapter 12, starting at the top, verse 1. It says, "Wherefore, seeing we also are compassed about with so great a cloud of witnesses, let us lay aside every weight and the sin which doth so easily beset us, and let us run with patience unto the race that is set before us." All right, and that race is this truth, this knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Abiding by it. Doing what is right in the sight of a perverse nation. Verse 2, "Looking unto Yahushua, the author and finisher of our faith, who for the joy that was set before him endured the cross, despising the shame, and is set down at the right hand of the throne of Yahweh." Verse 3, "For consider him that endures such contradiction of sinners against himself, lest ye be wearied and faint in your minds. Okay? So, think long and hard about what Yahushua did for the nation of Israel. Okay? Excuse me. So think about what he went through and what he had to do. Okay? Think about, since we're following after example. Think about what we're gonna have to go through. Some of us are going to be martyrs in this thing. Some of us are gonna die. As a testimony. Okay? How many of us are gonna be martyrs? I don't know. But some of us are also going to be in the midst of Jacob's trouble, in the midst of the hell that's about to come down. Okay? So you have to take into consideration what Yahushua did for the nation of Israel, but ultimately the elect, but Israel in general as a whole. So this is going to be the book of Revelation. Okay. Revelation chapter 3. Revelation chapter 3, verse 10. It says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world, to try them that dwell upon the earth." Verse 11, "Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, which is this truth, that no man take thy crown." Okay? So, just keep that crown in mind. Fight for your crown. Okay? Don't let anybody take that from you. Now, this is going to be Revelation chapter 2, verse 10. And it says, "Fear none of those things that which thou shalt suffer. For behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life." Okay? In verse 11, "He that hath an ear, let him hear what the Spirit saith unto the churches. He that overcometh shall not be hurt of the second death." Excuse me. And that second death is those ICBMs, thermonuclear fire. Okay? Those intercontinental ballistic missiles that these other countries are now have been in possession of. Okay? They want to burn this bitch, America. They're tired of this place. Okay? So I hope that this was edifying. Like I said, it's all about the mindset. What kind of mindset you have to be in right now, and into the dark days ahead to come. You have to be in that mindset of you have to have that mindset of knowing that you could die for this truth, and be a martyr. And you also have to understand that you could also, in the midst of Jacob's trouble, you're gonna suffer greatly. You're gonna lose things like family, friends, acquaintances, co-workers, and there's gonna be other things too that you're gonna have to go through. But at the end of the day, it's ultimately a test from Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. Okay. Like I said, I hope that this was edifying. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahushai, B'Hashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors and respect to the elders and to the apostles, the great millstone. Peace and blessing to all Akim that are preaching and teaching this word with 100% truth and sincerity, and unto the men, women, and children that are listening and learning, and unto the Bayath Dabadah, the elect house of David that is scattered abroad, I give you my utmost and sincere salutations. See you in the next lesson, Lord willing. Kwam Yasharala, Wa Abababal, Shalom, Barakatam.